Welcome to the Sanity Project podcast, where you can awaken your mind to clarity and success even in today's life challenges. We're here to provide insights and solutions that will help you live a sane, healthy, and prosperous life. Here's your host, Joanne Victoria.
Hello, everybody. This is Joanne Victoria with another amazing episode of the Sanity Project podcast. You are here to discover a life of clarity, confidence, sanity, and entrepreneurial success. Our guest today is Patricia Lindner. Patricia is a multi-passionate soul and career alchemist and founder at North Star Career. Patricia invites accomplished men and women who feel stuck or dissatisfied in their current career to embark on a creative, intuitive, and joyful discovery journey to connect with their true calling. There's much more, but that's going to come out in the conversation with Patricia Lindner. Patricia has a website, patricialindner.com, patricialindner.com. And let's hear Patricia's story before she gets into helping everybody who's listening to her. Hi, Patricia.
Hi, Joanne. Thank you so much for the beautiful introduction and for having me on this episode.
Well, I thank you for being here because people deserve to hear who you are, what you do, and how you do it. So audience, Patricia is in Germany. It's 10 o'clock at night, and we are here together, and I have some guests from Europe, a lot of guests from Australia, a lot from Canada, and the rest from the US, etc. And Patricia's focus and how she deals with things or handles things is different because her focus is holistic and anti-coaching approach. So tell us, how did you get to this place?
Yeah, thank you for this great question. Because really, it is such a different approach, and it took me quite a while to really confidently say that this is a holistic approach. Because, as you know, I probably know that when you go to those business courses and coaches, then they tell you you have to just focus on one thing. And so I thought, oh my gosh, I'm a jack of all trades. I have so many visions and ideas on how to work with people because we are so multifaceted and multi-passionate about things. And so, yeah, my own transition, my own way, my journey brought me in touch with so many amazing tools, also with tools that didn't work at all. And I'm a curious person. I can't stop learning new things, new modalities, testing and trying and sorting out. And so in the end, and this only happened maybe 1 year ago, I felt so confident to say that I am this anti-coaching person that is not a run-of-the-mill coach, but someone who holistically sees the person and can react to whatever needs they have and wants and desires. And I think this is my specialty, that they get what they want.
Yeah, when just before you said you're curious, I had written down curiosity, and yeah, so we're here, and it's. You know, it's like people will say, what's your niche? Well, you know, you could be an entrepreneur probably, and you may be a coach, but most likely you want to open up your own business, or your own business is succeeding or failing because you're burning out, or, you know, just talk to me. Just tell me what your problem is and I can help you. And it's so hard for people because their left brain takes over and they become, they're terrified, of course.
Yeah.
You know, the left brain says, no, it must fit in here, you know, and it doesn't fit. What you do doesn't fit into what they've been taught to accept.
That's right. So I always say it is about the career and the life that you deserve, that you want, that you desire. So I could call myself a career or life coach. but whatever comes up, and I can deal with that so that you get what you really want, because it is always about the more in life and the next level, the expansion, the growth. And so most of the time when I start working with people, with clients, we start at a point that is maybe about the career. Most of the time it's about the career. And then after, several sessions, then they start sharing more about the real issue. And one of my most amazing clients, we ended up talking about her relationship issues and her self-confidence. And so I'm really happy that I can deal with it and can really serve people in that way.
Well, I think it's important because we're not a singular amoeba that we just deal. I mean, we're very complex, and we're part of the whole. We're part of the entirety, and to be able to speak on and respond on most things is not what's expected. And I think that blows people's, I'm sure your people go, oh, I didn't know I was going to talk about that.
Yeah.
And because the career is the cover, the work is the pretext, but it's the interior that's important.
So right what you say. Absolutely.
And the body, speech, and mind work together. You can't have one without the other. So when people talk about a career separate from their life, that's not true, because a career is part of their life.
Yeah. And most of the time it influences health. It influences the relationships. It influences success when they have financial plateaus, when they have mindset issues. So it is a holistic view of mind, body, and soul, just as you just said.
If people would, it's like, and I always want people to listen to my podcast, because I have guests such as yourself who have this message, and it's like, oh God, everybody should listen to this. I mean, I can't get everybody to listen to it. I can do my best and get it out there, but it's like, this is important. This is what you have to hear, not from just one person who thinks they're the best, but from several people, because, we will, even for ourselves, we won't listen to everyone. We will listen to certain people because we respect what they do and the success we think they may have. But it's really important that they know that, it's all together. The holistic perspective is where it's at.
Yeah.
So give the listeners an example of a client you may have spoken with that, no names are necessary, but, right now we talked about career, then it went into relationships. And, how do you get them out of their head?
A brilliant question, because this is, most of the time, it's the issue that's all in the head, and there are those false narratives that create this default circuit, and people are in their heads and they really believe what their mind is telling them. And so this is most of the time where we start, that they have this story that they, I can talk about a certain client, but I'm just guided to talk or to start talking in general. It is this story that keeps all of the clients that ever worked with me in a comfort zone of pain. That's what I love to say, because it is a comfort zone that is keeping them safe, but not fulfilled. That could be in respect of their career or their health or their wealth or their relationship, but it is just something that they know, and they have this inbuilt barometer that always pulls them back into this comfort zone. And when I say they deserve more, they have no clue on how to get there, because their thinking mind is telling them that there is no way, so there is no solution. And so I start really getting them out of their heads and into their compass from within, their hearts, their souls, their body wisdom, with tools like a very creative approach to tap into the body wisdom by really using the body to create a picture of their very next steps. Or I invite them on a vision walk that helps them figure out their next step. So it's always themselves to figure out the next steps. It's not me. I'm just the guide. I have an amazing way to really get them out of their head just by using a fast working method that is called logosynthesis, that works like I just think about a picture. It's like really clearing an old dusty museum of thoughts just by the power of words. And they don't have to go back to old stories, be re-traumatized. They don't even have to know what is going on. We just work on a level and they feel so liberated after that, and they expand. And they didn't have to think it out, to brainstorm, but to heart and soul storm. That's what just came to me. And that was just a tiny little insight. And I hope this answered your question.
Well, yes, it has. And I think it has as well for the listeners, because everybody is attached to their story. You know, they will hold on to that because if they don't have it, they might literally die. You know, That's their position. They don't understand that that's what they're doing, but they're the walking dead already, because they're not sourcing their emotions. They're not detaching from the story. They're making the story bigger, so they're encompassed by this story. Mm-hmm. What you're talking about is, you just mentioned heart and soul, something I can't remember, but what you're talking about is somehow you magically get them off their position of the patterns that have kept them alive, maybe not healthy, alive, so that they can experience something they would consider it outside of themselves. But I would say the outside of themselves is more amenable to who they truly are. You know, there's like you're talking about the walk.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The only people it makes sense to is people like us who know what the heck we're talking about and trying to get others to listen to and say, you know, your job is not, you are not your job. That's the first thing. You are not your career. You are not your job. And they spend so much time protecting their position on their job. My job is more important. My job proves who I am. By doing this job, I am smarter, better, richer, poorer, whatever than anybody else. And that's all a lie.
It is. And I don't know if you know about this study, and I guess the person, I don't remember the name, he wrote a book that said what dying people most regret. And there is something around really living up to others' expectations, not being so free-spirited, not deciding on what I really wanted, being more with my family and friends. And so people, as you just said, Joanne, they lie to themselves that this job is the most important thing, and they can't break free from this pattern. And I always have this picture in mind that people should not look back on their lives and regret that they didn't live the life that they wanted, that they deserved, that was meant for them, that was a life full of joy and bliss. And of course, there are low phases. So it's not everything is just fun and joy and happiness all the time, but not being in this soul-sucking, vicious circle of losing energy and losing this life force, and telling themselves lives. That's, beautifully said that, with telling themselves lies.
Yes, the lies that, we're here on this earth, no matter what age we pass on, because that's not even relevant. Some people are dead at 2, not physically, but emotionally. But we, snap a finger and we're gone.
Yeah.
And that's certainly happening more now in the past 2 years for all of the reasons that are out there.
Yep.
And we need to let go of holding on. Does that make any sense? Let go of holding on.
Yes. Yeah. I love this phrase, let go of holding on. And oftentimes there is this need, because it gives you this certain feeling of safety and security. But it keeps you in this zone that I just mentioned that causes a lot of pain, especially in retrospective.
Yeah, some people are holding, I would have to consider myself one of them because I go through life in different ways. And there was a time where I was just holding on. And whenever I get bored with myself, I have to find something, no, this doesn't work. Turn around, look in another direction and find something. But some people may not be willing to do that, because then you have to let go of your story. Mm-hmm. And even though you and I have written our stories for our websites about ourselves, that's not even it. That just gives you a story that they can identify with and go, oh yeah, I got that. I understand who they are. Well, no, you don't. But it gives you, the public, the opportunity to, nobody's trying to pull the wool over your eyes, but it's just a way to relate. But we are more than that. And we have a responsibility to contribute, because we're, for all intents and purposes, we are here to contribute to the whole, to the huge, to the bigger. And that means that we can't be attached to negativity. And by that, anger is one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Being attached to negativity. And I just recently, I read about raising your vibration and your frequency, because sometimes, and I think this is true for everyone, you find yourself in this mode of feeling depleted, and you can even, so I can feel this physically. And I think it is so the same as you just said. It is we have to contribute to raise the frequency, the vibration of the whole planet. And it is so amazing if you feel this in your physical body, that you really can raise the vibration, that you can literally feel the joy. And I don't know I guess you definitely have this emotional scale, this ladder, where anger and fear and guilt are at the very bottom. And if you are constantly in this vibration, and I know because I experienced that, you attract more of that. And this, for me, it created physical problems. And so it is so important to do this for yourself and to also inspire others to expand and raise the vibration into the vibration of joy.
Yes, that's the highest vibration.
Yes.
Joy.
That's why I mentioned it. Joy. It is
Yes.
the other end. So it is the very top.
It is the very top. Yeah, I have that scale somewhere in amongst my papers. And, one of the things, if you're angry, you're alive.
Yeah.
But you have ways to go. And some people look at it and go, I can't do that. I don't know what joy is. I can't experience that. What's the point? Why bother? I'll go back to what I will call the story. It's the never ending story of being stuck, being frustrated and being lacking confidence.
Yeah.
We'll call it that. But doubting everything they did. Could I have done it better? Should I have written more? Should I have spoken more? Should I have, to go back to what you said before, when people are dying, what do they want? What would they have wanted to do more of? Pay attention to themselves, their families, their contribution, not how much money they had. Because when you die, you're all the same. We're either wearing clothes or we're not. That's it.
Yeah.
And we're either in the ground or in a jar.
Right. Right.
So at that point, we're everything or we're nothing. So as you know more about this, and the people who are listening have to understand that you know more about this, that you have to trust Patricia Lindner. patricialindner.com. And on my website, you will also have her social media link so that you can go and find her, talk to her, connect with her. She's on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, but it's all going to be there for you. So what would you say, how can you help our listeners right now?
Right now? Oh, what a question. Right now. So I can invite your listeners to reach out and hop on a call right now with me for just a 15-minute human design chart reading. That is one of the tools I use that just helps them get a different perspective on who they really are, so that they can see the amazingness and the gifts and the skills in a different light. That is one thing that they can be helped to immediately with. And the other thing is, I just could share that everyone has such an immense potential, and that the life that everyone lives is not meant to be a hard one. And I know if there is a health issue, and I know what I talk about, that is hard to believe. But everyone is here to unfold this potential power, fulfill the purpose, and do this with joy and with a sense of fulfillment. It is just laying dormant somewhere because of an old story or many old stories that are covering up what is inside of you. And so I think it is just going on this discovery journey and trusting that there is more, and trusting that raising the vibration, changing the perspective, and valuing who you are just makes such a big difference. And this is what I just can say in this moment, that this is the very first step to see where you are at, and to really embrace this moment and to see how amazing you are, and be curious to discover more of your true potential and to tap into the next level you.
There you go. Be curious to discover more about yourself.
Yeah.
And value who you are. These are important things, and people don't do that enough. They always look outside of themselves. but Patricia Lindner has given you tips, tools, and strategies of how to be successful, be real, be authentic. And I know those words are overused, but they're really truthful words. If you want to reach joy, sign up for a step along the way. And this is on Patricia's page, and be part of the 15-minute call. It's a step.
It is.
Your life, our lives are filled with steps. We're not flying. I'm not Superman. I'm not Thor. I'm not any of that. And I don't think Patricia is, but you never know. But, we don't have to do that. We can just take one step at a time. And if we help you, we help ourselves. I want to thank Patricia Lindner for being here today. And I hope everybody listens to this podcast again and takes notes, because Patricia has put forth a great many opportunities for you to follow. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye. Okay.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Sanity Project podcast. Please go to AskJoanneVictoria.com to listen to more podcasts. Check out Joanne's coaching programs and get a free copy of her report, 5 Steps to Achieve Life-Work Harmony. That's AskJoanneVictoria.com. Take care, and thanks for being here.